Why Americans refuse to buy EVs. Throughout the last few years, analysts have been predicting that electric vehicles will be the future of transportation and that the United States of America will joyfully and quickly adopt them. The market for electric vehicles is indeed growing, but the revolution of electric vehicles in the United States looks to be occurring considerably more slowly than some analysts and automobile manufacturers anticipated. The number of electric cars, EVs, sold in the United States has increased since 2016, going from almost 65,000 vehicles sold in 2017 to more than 800,000 vehicles sold in 2022. Motor Intelligence, a company that specializes in automotive analytics, reported that electric vehicle sales increased by 51% in the first half of 2023, continuing the increasing trend. Despite this, the gains are still lower than the 71% growth that occurred during the same period the previous year. In addition, Tesla, which dominates the industry with more than half of all electric vehicle sales, recently posted its lowest quarterly profitability in 2 years, which resulted in a decline in the stock value of the firm by $138 billion, £1144 billion. In response to these signals, several automobile manufacturers in the United States are making new business decisions. A production goal of 400,000 electric vehicles by the middle of 2024 is being abandoned by General Motors, which 2 years ago stated a goal of eliminating internal combustion engines by the year 2035 through the use of electric vehicles. In addition, they have abandoned their plans to collaborate with Honda to develop a range of electric vehicles that are more reasonably priced. According to executives at Ford, the company is delaying the investment of billions of dollars in electric vehicles, since they do not yet require the production capacity to fulfill demand. It is not that people in the United States do not want to purchase electric vehicles, according to Elizabeth Creer, Vice President of Electric Vehicle Practice at GD Power, a consumer intelligence company. We survey over 2,000 new vehicle shoppers to gauge their interest in EVs every single month, according to the spokesperson. The number of people who are extremely likely to consider purchasing a full battery electric car reached an all-time high of 29.2% in October, according to research results. Therefore, nearly 1 out of every 3 people who are looking to buy a new vehicle are extremely likely to give serious consideration to purchasing an electric vehicle. However, there are a few fundamental factors that have hindered the pace of electric vehicle adoption for drivers in the United States. These hurdles require remedies before the American uptake can surge as predicted. The problem with the cost of living. Budgetary constraints are the most significant of these obstacles. Electric vehicles continue to be significantly more expensive than their combustion-powered equivalents, even though prices are decreasing in the United States is introducing tax benefits. The average American automobile consumer is unable to afford the price tag since borrowing rates in the United States are at their highest level in 20 years. In the United States, we examined the prices of electric vehicles over 13 years, and when adjusted for inflation, we found that the average price of an electric vehicle is increasing rather than decreasing, explains Ashley Nunes, a senior research associate at Harvard Law School. If a typical consumer is looking at the pricing of an electric vehicle EV and a gasoline-powered automobile and seeing, depending on the day, difference between $15,000 and $20,000, £12,195 and £16,260, it is relatively straightforward to figure out which choice they are going to choose. This presents a significant challenge. Government programs offer financial incentives to people who purchase electric vehicles to make costs more desirable. The federal government provides a subsidy of $7,500 towards the purchase price, while several states provide an additional credit ranging from $1,000 to $7,500, £813 to £6,060. These additional incentives appear to be a determining factor as to whether or not consumers will make the purchase, according to Creer. Of the top 10 adoption states, 5 of them have state incentives. Nevertheless, they are not yet implemented everywhere, and according to Nunes, even the incentives do not achieve much in terms of moving the needle on a broad scale. In the end, they are unable to lower the price of an electric vehicle down to a level that is comparable to that of a gasoline-powered vehicle or into a range that is affordable for the typical consumer. There is a range of approximately $70,000 that represents the median income for a household of 4. In the year 2022, the typical price of an electric vehicle was greater than $60,000 or £48,784. Therefore, give it some thought. It is almost the same as the amount of money you are bringing in for the year, he says. The charging process is difficult. However, according to Nunes, there is another obstacle that prevents many typical Americans from being able to power electric vehicles. This obstacle is that there is nowhere to place the chargers that are installed in their homes. It might make sense to buy an EV if you could recharge that vehicle in the driveway of your house while you're asleep, according to the author. The problem is that many Americans don't even have driveways. According to Creer, who works for JD Power, 1 in 3 shoppers do not have access to home charging. It is so much easier to refuel your vehicle with gasoline than it is with electrons, argues Nunes. This is true even when taking into account the fact that you will have to go to a station that charges fossil fuels. If you pull up to a gas station with an empty tank and you simply pump it full of gas, it will take you no more than 6 or 7 minutes at the most, the driver said. When it comes to electric vehicles, it will take you several hours to charge that vehicle to its maximum capacity. Additionally, that is the kind of time that the average American simply does not have. A solid infrastructure of public charging stations is essential to the widespread adoption of electric vehicles, according to the consensus of experts. But there is a delay in the construction of that infrastructure. There is a dearth of stations, particularly in neighborhoods with low incomes and communities of color. It's not a substitute, but rather a supplement. According to Nunes, early adopters, or individuals for whom an electric vehicle was an easy sell, were the driving force behind the surge in sales of electric vehicles in recent years. The majority of those who are interested in owning an electric vehicle already do so. However, he feels that businesses have not been successful in engaging middle-income Americans to enter the market. This is even though they should be the next target category of purchasers. In addition, even customers who have acquired electric vehicles are not completely discontinuing their use of gasoline-powered automobiles. Consumers frequently complement their fleets through the use of electric power rather than making a complete move to electric power. There's very strong evidence that shows most of the individuals who buy electric cars also own an internal combustion engine-powered vehicle, according to Senator Nunes. The electric vehicle is not going to replace their gasoline-powered vehicles in any way. According to economists, the vast majority of electric automobiles are acquired as complements rather than as substitutes. All they are doing is adding to the overall quantity of automobiles that they have in stock. An upbeat outlook. According to Creer, even if electric vehicles make up only a small portion of the total number of vehicles on the road at the moment, we do anticipate that share more than doubling from 9% to 19% over the next few years. According to her, many of the issues that are currently affecting adoption are likely to become less severe, which will lead to an increase in market share. According to Creer, for example, as several new models are produced, such as electric cars and SUVs, a growing number of consumers will be able to discover an electric vehicle that is capable of adequately replacing a gasoline-powered model in the years to come. We anticipate that by the year 2026, 75% of the market scope will be covered. Therefore, 3 out of every 4 people who are looking to purchase a new vehicle will have a viable alternative to an internal combustion engine. Not only that, but there is also an effort being made to guarantee that drivers of electric vehicles have access to a dependable network of public charging stations. The government of Vice President Joe Biden has committed to establishing a national network of electric vehicle chargers that is user-friendly, dependable, and convenient by the year 2030. These two options, when combined, have the potential to bring about a reduction in pricing, which would make it possible for the general transition away from vehicles powered by combustion engines, which is something that experts and automobile makers have been banking on. Would you like it? Hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting and informative videos.